Hello, my name is Benjamin Richard. This is going to be a presentation of my Capstone project for Concordia University's Web Development Bootcamp. I decided to do a project for a classroom library that could be used by teachers and students alike. The teacher would be able to create classrooms, class lists, libraries, and check in and out books for students. So let's get right ahead. This is initially loads on the home page, and you can also go to an About section. And on the top right, you see a teacher login and a student login. Let's log in as a teacher. It uses Auth0, and we're just going to sign up as a new teacher and create a password. And once in, we'll be directed to a dashboard, and you'll notice that the summary container is empty, and this here is for a library and a classroom. Since we're new here, we're going to click to add a library. To create a library, simply type in a name of the library that you want to add, click Create Library. If successful, a modal will pop up, and it will ask you if you want to return to the dashboard or add books to the library. Let's add books to the library. The first step for adding a book to the library is to find and choose a book. This uses the Google Books API. So we can search for a book, any book we want, let's say The Grinch. And we can search by either keyword, ISBN, or by title. So when we want to add a book, all we need to do is click. And if we want to continue browsing, we can click Load More, and it loads more. So clicking a book adds it to this middle section. The next step is to choose a category. We can choose fiction, Christmas, age group, and as we're adding it, you'll see it appears in the middle section. And grade 1. And to complete, you press Complete Categories. Once a step is complete, you'll notice it changes from red to green. And then step 3 is choose the quantity available in the library. So we'll say there's going to be 2. Submit. Once we're ready to submit, we click the Add Book to Library button. And it will appear here on the right. Let's add another book. And we'll quickly choose categories and number available. We'll add it to the library. If we want, we can also delete a book from the library by pressing the X, and it will remove it. If we try to add a book that already exists in the library, then we will be met with an error message at the bottom that lets us know that the book already exists and to try to add a different one. So we'll go back and add The Grinch again. To return to the dashboard, simply go to the navigation bar and click Dashboard. You'll see here in the Libraries container, our grade 1 library has been added. We'll have the option to browse or to go back and modify it. Next step is to create a classroom. Click here. Again, we just simply type in a name that we want to give the classroom. And then we have the option to link any library that we'd like, or that we've already actually created. If we haven't created a library yet or haven't created one for this particular classroom, we can click here to go back to create a library. I'm just going to go ahead and click this grade 1 library that we just created. Create classroom. Again, successful creation modal pops up, and we have the option to return to dashboard or add a class list. We'll add a class list. Here you can add names of the students in your class. You could remove inputs or add inputs. I'm just going to go ahead and add a few names. And we'll say, when we're completing making the list, we just click this button in the middle, and it will add all the students to our classroom. The program automatically generates a username and password for the student, and this username and password will be used by the student to log into the student side of the application. The teacher, once they're done creating the list, can then export it to Excel by clicking this button. In Excel, the teacher can choose to print or do whatever they want with this list in order for the students to have their username and password. And if we go back to the dashboard now, we'll see that the classroom is added to the classroom container, but also in the summary, the classroom and the name of the library are added as a drop-down. This will show us where which books have been checked in and out and by who. Right now, no books are currently checked out. We can go to our library and browse it. It'll show us all the books in the library. Right now, there's not too many. And actually, to show you more about this section, I'm going to log out from this new teacher and log in as myself, where I've built up a bit more of an extensive library. So this is my own library. You can see it's a bit more built up with more classrooms and libraries. We'll go into the grade 3 library, and you'll see that it displays 9 books at a time. We could load more books by clicking this button at the bottom. And again, we can also search by category. So let's say holidays, Christmas, or Halloween. We can sort alphabetically by title or by author. Or we can search by title by just typing in the search bar at the top. It'll suggest books as you type. And if you want to select a book, you can use the up and down arrow keys and press enter to go to a book detail. Going back to the library browsing, you can also check in or out a book by clicking on it. So you see this book, there's 4 available, so there's none to return, so that button's disabled. If we want to check out a book, we can go here. We can choose from any of the names in the class list that we've created for this classroom. So we'll say Eric, check out. And it'll say that the book was successfully checked out. Then you'll see that the return button is available to be clicked. Before we return it, I just want to show you that in the summary grade 3 classroom, we'll see that the 100 snowmen has been added and that Eric has taken it out and it's due back in a week. If we want to return it, we could simply click the name of the book from the summary container. It'll bring us to the detail page. We can return it. It'll only show the students that have the book checked out. And click return. 100 snowmen successfully returned. So that's it basically for the teacher side. Now let's head over to the student side of the application. We will sign in as a student. I'm just going to pull up the Excel spreadsheet of the username and passwords. We're going to sign in as Eric. If we have a typo or something wrong with the username and password, it will let us know that it's incorrect and to try again. Submit. And here it'll bring us to an overview page of the student where it'll give you name, the classroom, the library, and whether the child has any books checked in or out. Eric currently does not have any books checked in or out. And if we go to the library, it's the same library browsing experience that we saw before. However, if we were to click a book to go to the book detail instead of check in or out, it will be a button for the student to add to the waiting list. But this has not been enabled yet in this version of the web application. And that's about it for my project. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.